The Star will be on the line Saturday when the track and field teams of Army and Navy meet at Shea Stadium. Head coach Troy Ingalls says he and the coaching staff have stressed what sets this meet apart from others on the schedule.
So in addition to kind of the general psychological preparation for everybody gearing up for a competition, we've also tried to remind folks that this is a different competition than the majority of our meets through the season, which are really very quantitative. You know, that you're going to go out and try to run faster than you did last week or throw farther or jump higher. Whereas this meet, there's a different kind of a competitive element. Truthfully, during the meet, I might never look at a watch. I mean, it's very, very likely that none of us as coaches will have a sense of how fast anyone ran or how far they threw until we look at the results afterwards, because what we're more concerned about is their head being in the competitive game and trying to beat opponents on the track and in the field, and then focusing just on the performance of their skill itself, not necessarily on the performance time or distance.
After not competing for the last 3 weeks, the gymnastics team returns to action at the ECAC Championships. Head coach Doug Van Everen says the time off has been beneficial for the Black Knights.
Essentially, we've been able to kind of refine some of the routines and really clean up, some of the areas that, that need a little bit more work. So it's nice to be able to back off of the competitions and stop pounding on the guys and really give them a chance to, fix up some of the holes and get ready to go. So right now, I feel very good about the conference here this weekend.
Following their tough loss to Colgate last weekend, the lacrosse team gets right back at it on Saturday when they visit nationally ranked Bucknell. Head coach Joe Albarisi says senior leadership will play a key role as the season winds down.
No question that we're always, turning to our seniors, and I think, the best teams are the ones that do the best job of leading themselves. And this group has been very good there, and we're in some a little bit of a rough patch here. But again, these guys have experienced enough success, I think, that they can draw back on and understand the way that the games have gone, and some of our losses, we've had an opportunity to win. In our 6 losses, we've had an opportunity to win the game in the fourth quarter in 5 of them. So we've been right there. We've been knocking on the door, and the key is not to be frustrated by it, but to stay optimistic that we can play with anybody in the country. And now it's just get out there and make it happen in the next one, and the next one is Bucknell.
Coming off their sweep of Navy last weekend, the baseball team continues Patriot League play with a weekend series at home against Lehigh. Head coach Joe Sotolano says he liked what he saw from the squad versus the Mids.
Obviously, you want to win every game you play, but going into conference, you want to play the best baseball you can. I thought we played really well last weekend. Winning's a result. We focus on our effort every single day. The result last weekend, we were fortunate enough to be 4-0. So obviously we're very pleased. We want to continue on a trend. We realize that we're going to lose games here and there, and although we expect to win every time we step on the field. So it's nice to start 4-0, but that's over. Now we're focused on the next phase and the next contest.
It will be a matchup of 2 teams with perfect 4-0 league records when the softball team visits Colgate for a weekend series. The Black Knights are currently riding an 8-game win streak, and head coach Michelle DiPolo points to one reason for the team's recent success.
Time. Just time, and that's the whole point of having a heavy preseason schedule, so that once this second season comes around, we've figured out some things, we've worked through some things, we know it does work, we know it doesn't work, and shaking some things up. Obviously after Penn, it was a good wake-up call, and comparing and contrasting the past, and really just figuring out what we need to do from there.
Rounding out the weekend, the golf team returns to action when they venture to Penn State for the Rutherford Intercollegiate. Following their recent layoff, head coach Brian Watts knows the team is ready to go.
The guys are extremely excited. We're finally getting to the point where we got guys back in the lineup that are healthy and over their illnesses and injuries, and so this will be the first time this spring where we got our top 5 guys in the lineup, and as I stated before, they're really excited to go compete this weekend down at Penn State.
With this week's weekend preview, Rick Johnston, ITT Excellus Night Vision.